drugstore makeup, affordable makeup, older makeup still looks good, okay? I think I proved that today. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tiffany. If you are new and this is your first time seeing my face, welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you are not new and you are returning for another video, thank you so much for coming back. Today's video is, as indicated in the title, going to be a makeup tutorial. Now I know makeup tutorials are not really like the thing anymore. Everybody's doing product reviews, first impressions, and you know, all that kind of stuff because there's so many new products on the market these days, and it's very, very hard to keep up if you are an average consumer. You don't wear, like, you don't collect makeup like that. If you're not like a beauty influencer or something like that, it's not really normal or natural or practical to buy a ton of new makeup all the time, and it's just not necessary. So I wanted to kind of throw things back a little bit, use some products that are not new, products that have been out for at least a year, and do my makeup with those products. So all the products that are used in today's video, as far as makeup and everything, not necessarily brushes, but makeup, is all affordable or drugstore makeup. It's all stuff that is accessible to the majority. I wanted to make sure I picked products that a lot of people probably already have in their makeup collection or are easy to run out and pick up. All of these things, like I said, are very affordable and none of it is new. So if you want to see me create this fall inspired look using drugstore and affordable makeup that isn't new, then just keep watching and make sure you subscribe before you leave, because it's just rude not to. And also make sure that you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy tutorials, if you still like using older makeup and, you know, not constantly giving in to the consumerism, okay, and feeling like you need to jump on the bandwagon and buy every new release that comes out, because it's just not necessary. But anyway, I digress. I'm just going to get into this makeup tutorial before this video gets way too long. So if you want to see this look and see how I created it, see what products I used to get it, just keep watching. Okay, so I got y'all scooted in. The hair is pushed back, so we're going to go ahead and get into the makeup look. I'm going to start out with the brows, and for brows I'm using the Kokie brow pomade. I'm using this in the shade Dark Brunette. I used to use this religiously, like this was it, and this is still like one of my favorite drugstore pomades. This one is brand new. I had gotten a backup a while back. Still got the plastic cover on. So we're going to take that off and go ahead and do these brows, but I'm going to speed through this part because, you know, I mean, nobody really cares that much about brows, so, and it takes me a while to do mine, and I don't want this video to be a million times too long, so yeah. Okay, so brows are on, everything is set. So now I'm going in with my drugstore eyeshadow palette, and I consider this drugstore because eyeshadow prices at the drugstore have gone up. I could have used something really predictable like Wet n Wild or L'Oreal. I think they've got palettes, CoverGirl, whatever, Milani. I just don't have any of their eyeshadow palettes. I do have one from, well, two from Wet n Wild, but I did not want to use those today because they're not the right colors. They're not the colors that I'm going for. But we're going in with this palette today, so let's get started. I want to do something smoky. I want to do something that's not like a defined crease. I want something that's more blown out, easy to recreate, and I feel like most people that wanted it have this palette. If not, it is still available on the Morphe website, I believe. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And you can also get this, I believe you can still get this on Ulta's website as well. But I don't believe they're in store. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they are in some stores, but I haven't checked mine lately, so I don't know. But this is what we're using today. So I'm going to start off going in with the brown shade from this palette. The deep brown shade. There's two. I don't know why I said the brown shade. To prime the lid, I'm going to start by applying my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in the shade 40. Blend it out with my sponge, and I am using a drugstore sponge. It's from e.l.f. I believe it's called the Total Coverage Sponge or something. But I'm just going to use that to blend this concealer onto my lids to prime. I'm going to drag it out a little bit because I'll probably be winging this out. I'm going to start off with the shade Prowl on an A25 brush from Anastasia, and I'm going to place this right on the outer and inner corner of my eye. And honestly, I feel like when I do colors like this, it's just way more flattering on my skin tone. Like, I love it. I love it so much. And the pigmentation on this is serious, okay? Same thing with the inner corner. Just gonna kind of put that there, push that in to that inner corner. Just like so. Yes! Same thing on this side. So I'm going to go in with a Morphe, what is this? M506, and I'm going to pick up the shade Top Secret, which is that nice rich olive color. I'm going to load that onto my brush, and then I'm just going to run that just over the edges of the brown on the outside, just to kind of blend that out and give me that pop of green that I'm looking for. And I'm going to start to wing this out a little bit. Like I said, if you don't have these palettes, they're still available online. I'm not sure if you can pick it up in store or not, but they're still out there, honey. I'm just going to nestle that into the crease and kind of wing that out a little bit. Hopefully I haven't completely lost my skills. I have been feeling so like unmotivated the last week and a half because it was like, I don't know, I tried to do my makeup like several times last week, and I came close to posting some of the looks on my Instagram. By the way, follow me on Instagram if you don't already. All of that will be linked down in the description box. But yeah, I tried to do my makeup a few times over the last week and a half, and I just hated everything that I did. Like, it was, I don't know. I didn't like it. So the brush that I'm using for this, I didn't mention it before, but this is the A3 from Anastasia. I'm using a lot of their brushes because I own a lot of their brushes and because they're some of my better brushes. So I want this look to actually turn out good, and that's why I'm using them. You can use whatever you want, but this is what I'm using today. Now to really blend out this top section, I'm going to go in to a Jessup brush. This is a 231. It's kind of like a little pointed crease brush. And I'm going to take accents on that, and I'm going to buff that along the edges of the green to blend that out. We're going to go ahead and get into the skin. So I have already cleansed and moisturized my face before I even got started filming, obviously. But for priming, I wanted to use one of my favorite drugstore primers. I've been using this for a minute now. And because I have combination oily skin, it really does help keep things in check. I also have very large pores on and around my nose, so to kind of smooth that area out, I'm going to use my Prime Shield from Milani. And you see how that just instantly blurred and mattified my skin without anything else on it? Okay, primer's on. And for foundation today, I am using one of my all-time favorite drugstore foundations besides Maybelline Fit Me, the matte and poreless, of course. I am going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I am in the shade 515 Copper. This is probably the best drugstore foundation that I've come across in ever. I'm going to go with 2 pumps on the back of my hand. Not that I really need that much. Probably won't end up using all of that, but I'm just going to dot it on my face. And with this, sometimes I will color correct, but for today, I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to do the bottom half of my face first. And then we'll go in with working on the top. And I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. sponge. I believe this is called Total Cover or something. I'm just going to go in and blend this out. Like, do you see how flawless this looks? Oh my goodness. Like, if you have not tried this at this point, run to your nearest Walmart, order it on Amazon, get it from Target, go wherever you need to and pick one up and try it out, because I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. Okay, so now the foundation is blended out. I'm going in with concealer, and for concealer today, I'm using another oldie but a goodie. I really love this concealer. I've been using it for years. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, not foundation. The Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is in the shade 40, the same shade that I used to prime my eyelids. This is what I'm going in with. And it might look like, ooh girl, you going too light, you going too light, but not really. She blends in perfectly, okay? Perfectly. And I want to kind of focus most of this right in this inner corner instead of going too far out, because when I do that, I tend to have like too sharp of a line where my eyeshadow stops on the outer corner. So I like to kind of keep it contained. Plus, when you start blending this out, it's going to spread anyway, so you don't need that much. You take a little bit of this on the forehead. Again, don't need that much. A little bit down the nose and a tiny bit on the chin. Also here. And now we're gonna close it out like this. I'm just kidding. No, I'm going to go ahead and blend this out using the same side of the sponge that I blended out my foundation. Because this is a lighter shade, I don't want to go in with a clean side and it remain quite this bright. So if you want to darken it up just a tiny bit without adding more foundation or anything, just blend it out with the same side as your foundation. So I'm going to start with the forehead, blend that in really well. Kind of go across the top of the brow just a little bit. You don't need to use much pressure when doing this. This blends out really nicely. See, it's like the same shade almost. Like it's a very subtle highlight. Do the same thing with the chin. And on the sides of the mouth. You see that coverage? Do you see that? And it's nice and bright and it's not like overwhelming or anything. I love this concealer so much. It's been a while though since I've used it. I don't know why. I've just gotten caught up in like newer products like we all have. Like it's so easy to forget about the things that you used to love and that you used religiously just because something new hits the market. And I feel like there's too many new products coming out right now at once. And it's almost impossible to keep up with all the different things that are happening and coming out constantly. And it's like, can we just have a break, please? Can I use up the rest of my product before I go out and buy something else that I really don't need to have right now? But that's, I don't know what this hand is doing. I get like that when I get focused, sorry. But yeah. I like to kind of turn it back to the foundation side, kind of buff everything out again, just to make sure it's all in there. And before I start to crease, because that happens pretty quickly, I'm going to go in with my favorite drugstore powder ever, the Airspun from Coty, the Coty Airspun powder. I'm using the translucent shade. It's, what is it, Naturally Neutral. That's the shade that works best for me because it has a little bit of a beigey kind of yellow undertone to it, but it's nothing crazy. So I put a little bit of that in the cap, and then I'm just going to dip the sponge into it, kind of coat that there. And then I'm going to put the excess on the back of my hand so I don't have too much powder. I don't need this to be crazy, and I'm just going to pat this in the areas that I need it. Okay, so now I'm just going to blow everything out on the lower lash line and kind of drag this out on that outer corner. And for that, I'm using this same brush that I used, this, what is this, A3. I used this to pack that access shade on the center of the lid, and I'm going to go in with a little more access on the tip of the brush and blow out that green on the lower lash line. I think today I'm going to use these. I had debated using like more dramatic lashes, but I think I want to go in with these today. So these are the Salonperfect Be Natural Lashes multi-pack. This is the style 610. Very natural lashes, cute. I like the fact that these have a thicker band though, so you don't need to add a liner to make it look complete. But I'm just going to pop these on really quickly off camera, and I will be back to finish off the rest of the face. Okay, so lashes are on. I've gone ahead and added mascara to my lower lash line as well, to my lower lashes as well. For that, I used the Makeup Revolution, the Mascara Revolution. This is the original formula. They do have a waterproof formula as well, but I prefer the original only because I'm not a big fan of waterproof mascara. I use it if I need to, like a special occasion, if I know I might shed a tear or two. But for the most part, I just use the regular formula because it's a lot easier to remove. It still holds a nice curl. I that's the one that I prefer. For my bronzing and contouring, I'm just going to use one product and kind of like bronze or bronzer with this, and it's the Black Radiance Black Coffee Pressed Powder. Same thing on the other side. Don't worry about my little net right there. We're not gonna worry about her. She's minding her own business, so leave her be. And I'm using a very light hand with this, and you can still see like plenty of pigmentation. If you go in with a heavy hand, you can get like a really nice contour, but I'm not trying to really contour my face. I just want to add some warmth and definition back to the perimeter, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this right along my forehead. That's all we need. We're nice and sun-kissed without being too much. Now for my blush, I'm going in, actually I think I'm going to do highlight first. For my highlight, I'm using one of my favorite drugstore or affordable highlighters. It's a highlight palette from Makeup Revolution. This is their Ignite Face Quad, and she's stunning. I'm sorry. She's so pretty. Like the colors in this is for the chocolate girls. This is for darker skin. This right here is going to make everything pop. Okay, so I had no idea my camera was not recording, but I just went in first with the gold shade here and put that on. And then I topped it with a little bit of this lightest shade in here, right on the top of the cheekbone. Put a little bit on my nose, bridge of the nose, between the eyes, and whatever remained I put on the chin and on my forehead. Now I'm just going to pop on a little bit of blush. I'm using my e.l.f. blush palette. This is their dark one. I believe they still sell this, I think. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of people used to use these, and I don't know what happened, but everybody got, you know, into other blushes and forgot about what was hitting back in the day. But I'm going to go in with this peachy shade right here in the corner as my blush. Now we are almost done. The only thing left to do is lips, so let me grab my lip product. I miss bullet lipsticks, so I'm using a Revlon. This is real throwback. I'm using Revlon's Super Lustrous lipstick. This is a matte formula, but it is a bullet lipstick, and this is in Superstar Brown. Love this. It's a really nice nude for us brown girls. So I'm going in with this, and I don't think I'm gonna line my lips. I don't know, I might, but I'm just gonna go in with the lipstick first, and if I do, I'm just gonna line it over. Okay, so again, this is the finished look. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the look that I created. Hopefully this kind of inspired you to reach back and start using some of those older products again, because I mean, they're still good. You don't have to buy everything brand new every time something is released. You don't have to go out and get it just to create a good look. You can use the things that are already available to you, already in your collection, because they're good. Trust me, they're still good. Obviously, if your makeup's expired, you need to get a new one, but you can use the same old stuff if you want to. Anyway, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!